Good morning and welcome to our series of Google Partners Hangout on Air. My name is Adriano and I'm an agency manager here at Google. And today with me,
I'm Catherine and I'm the mobile specialist here at Google.
First of all, we wanted to say thank you to all of you for joining today. We are going to talk to you about how consumer behaviors has changed how people behave online, Google measurement tools, and how marketers and advertisers and agency can use Google cross-device data to have a better insight on their consumer behaviors, but as well as their marketing performance. So recently, I was looking for hotels, and only on my way to work, I was able to find a hotel a boutique hotel which I really liked through an ad of Google on the search results page. It was only when I went back home and talked to my girlfriend that I actually I booked the hotel, going directly to the client, the advertiser website. What happened? This is, from a consumer perspective, this is the norm. It's absolutely normal to do so. From an advertiser perspective, though, the advertiser, I've probably seen a click on the mobile traffic, a click, visit, but they didn't see, obviously, a sale, a conversion attributed to that. So to that point, we were seeing 90% of consumers start activity on one device and finish it on others. So my experience is only one of many. As to that point, I wanted to ask Catherine, how do you see cross-device work, and why Google?
So cross-device lends itself as a massive opportunity to multiple advertisers. What we're seeing is that cross-device is not just from a mobile device to a desktop device. Often it can be a work desktop device to a home laptop, a laptop to a tablet. And there's all these journeys that we've got to start to understand and unravel in terms of how people are using media and how they're converting. So when we look at that, Google has invested an awful lot of time and effort in really honing and making very, very careful work of building out our cross-device graph. This means that we've got three main things that we hinge our cross-device graph against. We have wonderful scale. The methodology that we use in creating this cross-device graph is really transparent, and it has a certain element of extrapolation in it, which there's nobody in the world that can do this without any type of extrapolation. And then the breadth of devices that we can cover is really fantastic. So when I talk about scale, this is talking about people who've previously signed into any Google property, of which there are quite a few. And each of these individually, if I took a handful of these, if I took 3 of these examples, each of those would have over 1 billion logged in users. So this is all anonymously observed by us and collated for our cross-device graph. So we have wonderful scale. When we look at the methodology, not everybody is going to be signed in all of the time, and we know this. So Google are very, very transparent on how we extrapolate out for those journeys that are not signed in. And we use things like country, conversion type, landing page, device use, to help inform that algorithm. And the other thing that we're very careful about is we only ever surface information or cross-device data into your account if we are 95% confident of that information, which means if we show 10 conversions sitting in your account, we know that the facts are it was between 9 and 11 conversions. So we're very, very stringent on that. And when we look at breadth, obviously, because we have multiple properties across multiple devices, and we see people using and interacting with our properties in different ways across these devices, we've got a really holistic picture. And we've also been able to look across web and app, which is really phenomenal.
Cool. This is absolutely amazing. Understanding, being able to understand, having those insights is really valuable for advertisers. But how can we move, Catherine, from insight to actually using those insights, making it actionable for our advertising and agency that are here with us today?
Yeah, so I think there's quite a few things, and there's quite a few details that we need to get right in order for the information that we're surfacing to be as actionable as possible. Things like making sure that conversion tracking is properly implemented, making sure that the conversion tracking is not conditionally firing, understanding that having conversion tracking across app, web, and site in a consistent manner, having one conversion tracking tag across all means that you're going to get the best insight across that journey. What you've got to start thinking about as well is what is this cross-device journey going to look like? And how far back are you looking? Because certain purchases are going to take longer than a 7-day window, for example, and you need to take that into consideration when you're looking at this. The other thing that we really start to encourage people to do, and certainly from an agency perspective, it's one of the best actions you can get your customers to start adopting, is to report cross-device conversions in their weekly reporting. It's a new metric. It's got quite a bit of education behind it, and if you can surface that into the business, it really helps to improve actionability against that. Coupled with all of this, so coupled with having the insight, having the correct data, surfacing the information in the reports, we do have tools and betas in Google that are going to be really helpful in leveraging this insight. So the first of this would be remarketing to signed-in users across all devices. So it's a CRM integration. The way we do this is we can add a small bit of code onto the remarketing tag that's already in place, and that allows you to collect a remarketing list that includes cross-device behavior. When we see people take this on, we're seeing kind of between 5 and 10% increase in conversions, which is really quite powerful. Another tool that we have that's massively powerful is obviously within the Google ecosystem. We have a very powerful automated tool. This automated tool for bidding rules works on a per auction basis. It takes over 7,000 signals into consideration. And if you can couple that with cross-device conversions and leverage that, it becomes a really powerful bidding tool that's going to maximize conversions across all devices. So it's not going to look just at in-device conversions, it will look at that behavior across device and set bids accordingly.
Cool. And you might have heard that recently we launched Customer Match. Customer Match is a unique targeting option where advertisers can now upload their CRM data, so their rich first-party data, anonymously into Google to create audience lists, and to use those across search, YouTube, and Gmail. So we think this is a truly cross-device targeting option, and we really encourage advertisers and agencies to use it. We're seeing amazing results here in the UK, and so we hope you start testing out this new targeting option along with all the other you can use it. We also wanted to talk to you about a story from one advertiser that we're finding it difficult to prove mobile work. So the story comes from B&B Hotels, a hotel chain who has 320 hotels in 9 different countries. And as their consumer were going to, more consumers were going to mobile to search for their hotels, they really invested heavily into creating their mobile strategy and creating an amazing mobile experience. Though they weren't able to see the return they really were expecting, because obviously people were searching on their mobile device, but then would prefer a favor to convert on desktop devices. So they interrogated their agencies, and together with their agencies, they start working on a project to start tracking cross-device conversion, as well as other conversions such as call, which are fundamental, and it's important to track them when on mobile devices. As a result of that, the B&B Hotels regained confidence in mobile device, reallocated 17% of their AdWords spend to mobile, and they were able, doing so, to drive incremental visit, 18% increase in visit, and an increase in return on ad spend by 20%. So this should give you an idea of why it is so valuable for advertisers and agencies to track, cross-device behavior.
Mm-hmm.
We also wanted to end with a few key takeaways. Those are tips and trips which we hope you can take back to your desk, or you can take back to your advertisers today. And so the first one is really use cross-device data from Google, because it is robust data. I mean, Catherine talked about that we get logged in user data from multiple variety of owned and operated properties, and this gives us very rich data. It's transparent, so we're very transparent based on with our cross-device methodology, and we are at Google. We are very serious around privacy controls. In terms of other key takeaways, we want you to obviously start reviewing cross-device data. And you can do that today by going to columns in AdWords and add cross-device conversion columns as well as all conversion columns. As Catherine was suggesting, look at a look back window longer than 7 days. We usually suggest to look at 30 days. And you can do this in AdWords, but if you're an agency they're using DoubleClick, you can do that in DoubleClick as well. Second is start reporting on cross-device data, and there is a massive education piece to be done here with clients on the importance of cross-device data. And then last but not least is automate bidding to cross-device. So start getting using the powerful cross-device data that you have available to you in your bidding strategies. With this, I think we wanted to thank you all for taking the time to be with us today. We hope to see you on our next Hangout very soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.